What's up, guys? Welcome to the Sports 2.0 show, our annual Super Bowl betting preview, guys. I'm joined by Dan Bierstow, Spencer Davis, and Julian Kiefitz. How you guys doing?
Yeah, hanging in there. Excited to talk some football.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be? A big weekend ahead of us. Bengals, the whole storyline with them. How are they even here, first of all? And then you got the Rams as well, who are supposed to be here. So it should be good. We'll talk about that in a minute here, but want to start with our $5,000 tailgate pick'em, guys. Sports 2.0 Network's giving away $5,000. 5 lucky winners will win $1,000 with our pick'em contest. You bet things like the coin toss, what quarterback's going to have a better day, what receiver's going to have the best day. The winner of those are the top 5 will get $1,000. So very excited about that. Links in the description below. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get in this game. I think we got to start before we talk about anything, right? The Bengals weren't supposed to be here. They were never supposed to be here. Nobody thought anything of them. They were actually, I think, plus 20,000 to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. Same odds as the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're now in the Super Bowl. So thanks to Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty mania. It's running wild here. We got to talk about that a little bit. So we'll start with Dan. What's your thoughts on Joe Burrow?
I mean, there's no coming off of the injury that he came off just a year ago. I mean, there's no way of anyone really seeing him being able to elevate his game this much, this quickly, even in only his second year. I mean, there's an argument to be made. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes just a week ago in Arrowhead, and he's really just been on a tear ever since the Ravens game where he threw for over 500 yards. He's on a tear right now. It's tough to bet against him, but I mean, we'll see if he can keep it up. It's at this point. At a certain point, you just got to stop doubting the guy and just kind of marvel at it. It's incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we were talking before the show about who we're actually picking. We'll get into that at the end of the show here, but I'm going to spoil it here. Dan is going against the Bengals crew, and the other two guys here are Bengals crew. So let's get their opinion on Joe Burrow as well. We'll go to you, Julian. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo back to what you said. They were not supposed to be here this season. And if you would have said in front of your buddies that you would take the Bengals to win the AFC championship, you would have been laughed out of the room. But, Joe Burrow put the team on his back. Not to, of course, we can't forget about Jamar Chase, Jesse Bates, Joe Mixon. I mean, this is an incredibly talented team. And I think, like I said before the show, they did something few teams have been able to do the past few seasons. That's beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So I think the Bengals have what it takes. I don't think SoFi Stadium's holding them back. I think they take it. Joe Burrow is here. He's ready to go.
There'll probably be more Chargers fans at SoFi Stadium on Sunday. Nobody cares about them. So Spencer, what do you think? I mean, you're on the Bengals too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe's just consistent, and more than that, I think it's just impossible not to love the guy. I mean, he's just exciting. He's fun. He's got the drip off the field. He always looks good on the field playing. And I mean, more than that, the Bengals defense showed up big in the second half against the Chiefs. So if the defense can hold their own and the offensive line isn't as atrocious as it normally is, I think Joe B's got a really good shot at taking his Super Bowl home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried as much about Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is going to be fine, comeback player of the year. Jamar Chase, I think he's going to be fine. The thing I'm worried about, like you said, offensive line trouble and also the defense. It was a totally different defense in the first half or the second half. They need that second half defense for 60 minutes on Sunday. So we can talk about the offensive line a little bit, because I think if you are betting against the Bengals, you're betting against them probably because of either the defense or the offensive line. If you actually look at the stats, the offensive line's gotten better as the year went on, which is probably hard to believe. But we look at the Rams front seven. Julian, let's start with you. How are they going to be able to protect Joe Burrow?
Well, it's all about, I mean, you have literally the kind of undisputed number one defensive player going up against that offensive line in Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is going to be everything in that game. He is the powerhouse. He is the lifeblood of that Rams defense. So they're going to have to do it somehow, but you have to stop Aaron Donald, because it's a matter of Joe Burrow being able to throw the ball. And beyond Aaron Donald, I mean, you got Jalen Ramsey on that defense. This is an incredibly stacked Rams defense. So I think just to start, it's going to be all about stopping Aaron Donald. So
yeah, 100%. I mean, Ryan's riding the Rams to the bank. So, Danny, I mean, you're doing the same thing kind of. So what do you think?
I mean, I do appreciate the support, but the thing is what you were mentioning earlier about the Bengals offensive line improving as the season went on. After their 9-sack fiasco against the Titans and the divisional, Burrow only got sacked one time in the AFC Championship game, and that's still a formidable defensive line with Chris Jones and Frank Clark. I would say, I mean, the Rams still are a different beast than that. You got 2 Hall of Famers on there, and Leonard Floyd is known to be to shrug over anything, but you're going to have to send extra blockers every time, because that, if you just have the 5 offensive linemen every time against those beasts, it's going to be a long day for Burrow, regardless of how much better you've gotten over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Now, Spencer, how many sacks do the Bengals give up in this game?
I don't know. I think probably 4. I mean, I don't see how Aaron Donald doesn't get to Joe at least once. I mean, he's playing for his first Super Bowl ring. I mean, they both are, but Aaron Donald really wants it. And honestly, this kind of brings me into one of my bets I like for the day. I got Joe Burrow over 11.5 rush yards. I think he's going to be scrambling a lot. And yeah, I think Donald and Von Miller will get to him, but I think he'll be able to escape the pocket a couple times and pick up some good run yards.
Yeah, definitely. I love those quarterback rush, like the Brady over 1.5. I bet that every week, just because you never know.
Yeah, those are electric.
Yeah, they're awesome. And some of these bets on like FanDuel, DraftKings this week are pretty good. Like there's some, I saw one of my guys who is on our Discord chat sent me something like, will a long snapper have a tackle or an assist for plus 2,000? Like, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what makes the Super Bowl fun. But we got some comments rolling in here. If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, Joe Burrow will have had a better football career than any player ever from college first 2 pro years. Grant, yes, you are 100% right on that. And then Tom coming in, the sports books are sucking them in for the Bengals. You know what, Tom? Everyone loves the Bengals. How can you not love the storyline? I mean, I think it's better than any storyline in this game. Now, there is another storyline we have to talk about, and that's Matthew Stafford. Who's going to have the better day out of these 2 quarterbacks? I mean, Matthew Stafford has a lot to lose. We saw, like Stephen A. Smith said, I believe, you know, Joe Burrow's playing with house money. Matthew Stafford needs to win this football game. So, you know, Spencer, what do you think? Which quarterback has the better day? Knowing you're betting the Bengals, try to separate yourself from that. Who has the better day?
I think Stafford shows up. I don't think he has a bad game at all. The Bengals secondary is good, but I mean, Cooper Kupp, Odell, he's got Cam Akers and Sony Michel coming out of the backfield who'll probably give him a lot of help blocking. I think Stafford throws for 300 plus.
Ooh, okay, 300 plus. So that would take him over his passing total on every single sports book. You know, Dan, do you agree with that? I mean, you're high on the Rams train. So
I do believe Stafford does have the better game. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I could see Burrow actually surpassing Stafford in passing yards or have a couple more passing touchdowns. But I think Stafford, with the help around him and kind of the overall game plan going into this, I think he'll play a more efficient game and he won't put the team in any bad situations as long as he relies on the playmakers that he knows he has. And I'm sure Sean McVay will make sure he stays in that position.
Yeah, so my thought is in this game, I think both teams are going to try to establish the run game and play conservative early. It's a Super Bowl. Like, mistakes are magnified, obviously. I don't know what side Julian's on here, but I got to say both quarterbacks stay under. I think they both have efficient days. I don't know if anyone breaks records on the stat sheet, though. What do you think, Julian?
Well, I mean, I'm going for the Bengals, and I will separate myself from that, like you said. But yeah, it's hard not to take Stafford having the better day. Joe Burrow's an incredibly talented quarterback, but I think those weapons that Stafford has, plus, you know, his experience that he has, you know, you've got Cooper Kupp, OBJ, Cam Akers. That's a really good offensive line. I think Stafford throws for at least 250, and he has the better game of the 2.
Yeah, and you bring up one person out of that whole like weapon arsenal he has. The one guy we got to talk about really is Cooper Kupp. Every week, defensive coordinators say, "Hey, the one guy we got to shut down to win is Cooper Kupp," and nobody's able to do it. I think he had 140 in the divisional round or 180 in the divisional. He's had over 140 the past 2 weeks. Like, he's been sensational. Part of those were blown coverages, though, so we got to keep that in mind. Not every, you know, he probably has 100 yards of legit receiving and then 100 of, you know, non-legit blown coverages, but still looks the same on the stat sheet. What do you guys think about Cooper Kupp? Does he go over 105 in this game? Dan, we'll start with you.
That's a high number for an over-under for receiving yards. My gut tells me go under on that. I could see him still get like 85, 90 yards. Like, it's not like it's a slight on Cooper Kupp. But the Bengals secondary actually has been pretty good this year. I mean, everyone hears about Eli Apple, but Chidobe Awuzie is a good slot guy, and that's where Cooper Kupp likes to operate. And they have Jesse Bates over top. He'll have his catches. I'm sure an anytime touchdown bet wouldn't be bad at all for him. But I'd probably say a little under the 104-yard mark.
What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect him. He's an animal. Most yards, most catches, most touchdowns in the regular season. But I don't know. I think he gets 5 or 6. I don't think he'll have a crazy game like Dan said. I don't think he's going to go over 105 or 110. Tanner's a brunette Cooper Cup with left.
That's Grant. Pay no attention to Grant. Grant means nothing. Pay no attention to him. But yeah, Grant, we appreciate your comment here. It was very nice of you. I am Cooper Cup, and I could beat you in a race too, by the way. Anyways, Julian, Spencer, I don't know if you had any more thoughts. Grant distracted you there, obviously.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I just I don't know. I'm excited. I'm staying away from receiver totals because I just feel like either secondary could show up and have 2 interceptions, but also both sides could. Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp could both have 100+ yards. Like, you never know.
Yeah, I think like the smart decision as a bettor is to fade it, obviously, at 105. I mean, if you want to be a little risky, put it in a same game parlay. But like Danny, even you said like anytime touchdown, right? I think it's like minus 195. So you got to put down 195 just to win 100. Like, that's same game parlay at I'm not touching that for a solo bet. Now, Julian, what do you think of Cooper Kupp?
I think what was it, 105?
Yeah.
I think once he starts getting those receptions, if you bet against that as a bettor, you're going to start sweating bullets. And once Cooper Kupp has the ball in his hands, he is not going to be stopped. And people forget the fact that Tom Brady could still be playing right now. He wouldn't be in a temporary retirement right now if it weren't for that catch that Cooper Kupp made at the end of the divisional round. I mean, the Rams choked that lead away, but Cooper Kupp put the team on his back. He made an incredible catch, incredible pass from Matthew Stafford. But who knows? I mean, without the talent of Cooper Kupp, the Rams could very easily not be playing in this game.
Yeah, I just think there's going to be a blown coverage at some point in this game, and Cooper Kupp's going to be one to catch the football. And, like, he could be at 50, 60 yards all game, then that one big play takes him over. So I probably would fade it totally. Now, this is an interesting bet for me. Mixon over 60.5. More money is coming in on the over, but you look at the Rams' defensive front, and they are sensational. Now, last week with Mixon, I said Mixon's not going to do a damn thing. He actually had a really good day, like 85, 90 yards, because they kept hammering the rock with him, right? I tend to think he's going to go under this, but this is such a low total for a Pro Bowl running back. Now, Julian, you closed us off with Cooper Kupp. What do you think?
Yeah.
Over, under here?
Yeah, I mean, he's such a talented running back, and like you said, he exceeded expectations last week. Yeah, I'll take over. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I like Joe Mixon over. I would definitely – I would take the over. My gut tells me to.
Now, Danny, what do you think? I mean, that means the Bengals are going to bully your defensive line.
Well, 60.5, I feel like it's actually kind of high. I know, like, because for how the Bengals kind of operate on offense and how they use Mixon, I feel like his over receiving yards might be the better bet in this situation. I mean, Aaron Donald, and the Rams do have good linebackers as well. I can see him right around that 60.5 mark. I tend to lean under as well.
Yeah, for me, I'm going high on his attempts. I'm going to take the over on attempts, and I'm going to go under on yardage. That's probably my best bet. Now, Spencer, what do you think?
I completely agree with what you just said. I think the Bengals are going to try to ram the ball up the middle. I mean, why you got to be able to run the ball and pass the ball in a big game. But I don't know. I think Mixon's really solid, but I just don't know. I don't see him getting inside against Aaron Donald, and I don't see him getting outside against Von Miller. I like the over on attempts and the under on the yardage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like with Mixon last week, I was like so frustrated because I'm like, just throw the ball on first down. Stop putting Burrow in a bad situation on second and third down, but they can continue to do it. I feel like they're going to do the same thing in the Super Bowl. And also, too, last week, just, a side note, a bet I lost. I took Elijah Mitchell over rushing yards. He didn't do anything. And if you took Debo's over rushing yards, he didn't do anything either against this Rams front. So I'm just concerned there. I would either fade it or I would take under on it for sure. So you know what? I think we got to talk about the lines now. We haven't even gotten this. We're just going prop bets, but that's what the Super Bowl is all about, is the props. Rams -4. The line opened at 3.5, I believe. It was up to 4.5 at its highest, and now it's down to 4 versus the Bengals, obviously. Over under 48.5. Start with the spread. Bengals have covered in 7 straight games, Dan. So you're high on the Rams. You're high on them money line, or are you high on them to cover?
I'll take the -4, to be honest. I know the Bengals have covered and have burnt me a couple times already in this playoffs, but I'll stick to my guns. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, and I think the Rams defense can take control, and McVay's going to be able to control the clock. So that's why I think Rams -4.
Rams -4. Okay, there it is. I think I saw something more bets have come in on the Bengals, but more money is coming on the Rams, which, the sharps and the professionals are coming in on the Rams for sure at -4. Julian, do you like the Bengals to win outright? So I mean, imagine you like them to cover. Why do you like them to cover?
I think you know what? It's on paper the Rams have a better team. That's undisputed. But I think it's just something that the Bengals. This is one game, one time. This is the biggest spot of a football player's career, and I think Joe Shiesty shows out. I think he's going to put up points. I don't think it's going to be quite as low scoring as people are saying. I think I would take the over for. I would take the over instead of the under for 48.5. And I like the Bengals to win by at least 3.
Yeah, I think there's a good bet on FanDuel or DraftKings. One of them. It's like, will this game be decided by 3 points? And the odds are pretty good for that. I think it could be a game-winning field goal either side. So I do like that prediction. Now, Spencer, you like Bengals +4. I don't know, because you talked about your future bet early, and then you talked about you're good on either side. So are you more comfortable taking Rams -4, Bengals +4?
Yeah, so I have the Rams future bet, and then I hedged on the Bengals to make sure I make money this weekend. But I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I like the Bengals spread. I think they're going to keep it a close game no matter what. I don't know. The Rams could definitely pull away, especially if their defense shows up huge and just shuts everything down on the Bengals side. But I don't know. I also like the over, actually. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I think 48.5 it's right on that cusp, right? We don't, it's hard to tell. But for me, here's my betting strategy, I think, going into Sunday. I do like the Bengals at +4. I'll take that. I'll do some props, but I'm going to wait till halftime or, when the Bengals go down, because I think there's going to be a point in this game where the Bengals are down by 14 points. Live bet them right away, because I think they will come back in the game. I mean, I took them live at the half last week and, made easy money, or 2 weeks ago. So that's going to be my strategy when it comes to these lines here. Now, you each gave your prediction on the total. Dan, you did not. So what do you think, over, under? You said low scoring.
So, yeah, I will take the under. I just think it'll be more of a ball control game on the Rams side, and I think the defense, if they limit the possessions of the Bengals, which the Chiefs failed to do in the second half, they should be able to keep a fair distance between them and score. I could see it being 24 to 14 or something like that.
Yeah, I tend to think it's going to be a lower scoring game. A lot of sharp money's coming on the under, so you gotta try to trust that a little bit too. But it's, again, guys, football. It's Super Bowl. I think it starts slow. It could pick up, and then once these teams get going, you just don't know what's going to happen. Now, Super Bowl MVP. This is obviously predicated on what team's going to win, right? So if you two think the Bengals are going to win, you probably got to go with Burrow. You got to go with Matthew Stafford. But I think the bigger question here, can this be someone other than a quarterback? It's usually not, but it has been.
I think for sure it can be. I would, as a Rams bettor, I would lean towards Stafford being the one to get the Super Bowl MVP. However, I think Von Miller, he was a Super Bowl MVP 5-10 years ago, or 2015. I think he's as an elite pass rusher, had shown in the past that it can make a huge impact on a Super Bowl game even a year ago. Aaron Donald obviously is someone you got to think of, and then Cooper Kupp. I mean, we were talking about him earlier. I mean, he's broken. He's had the Triple Crown receiving yards, receiving touchdowns and catches this year. There's always a chance for him to have a 150-yard, 2-touchdown game.
Here's my fear with betting on Cooper Kupp to win MVP. I think he has a great game, but everyone's so high on the Matthew Stafford narrative, getting here. If Cooper Kupp has 150, Stafford's going to have 300, and then he gets it automatically. Mm-hmm. That's my fear. What do you, Julian, Spencer? We'll start with you, Julian. What do you think about that? Can Cooper Kupp win this? Because if Cooper Kupp has a big day, Matthew Stafford has a big day, I think it goes to him by default.
I think I completely agree with what you said. I think it all comes down to the circumstance, Cooper Kupp is probably the most talented athlete on that offense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is going to be tough for a non-quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP, especially on the Rams side. I think if Cooper Kupp puts up the numbers and puts the team on his back the way he did in the divisional game against the Bucs, I think that I think it's not, and anything's possible.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think, Spencer?
I think Cooper Kupp's he's got to put up like Gabe Davis numbers from that Chiefs Bills game to take the MVP. Because like you said, I mean, if he puts up, even if Kupp puts up 200, Stafford's probably got 400. I don't know. I do kind of like Aaron Donald because I mean, if he has 2 or 3 sacks and just completely shuts down the offense, you could easily say that he is the difference maker in the game. He's the one that's stopping the Bengals from getting anything going. But I think Stafford or Burrow's the best bet. But I like Aaron Donald as a little sprinkle there.
Yeah, definitely. Kupp has to get 3 touchdowns to win MVP. I totally agree with that, Ryan. He's got to do a lot. Now, I don't remember which one of you guys brought up the kicking prop here. Who was this? This was
I did.
Okay, so you can take it from here. But Evan McPherson over 7.5 points. If this game's like a 12-3, 12-6 game, McPherson's also in the MVP running, I guess, but he's going to have a big day. So why are you going to take over here?
I just love this kid. I mean, every time he goes out, he's 12 for 12 in the playoffs. He's got the rookie record for most consecutive successful field goal kicks made by a rookie in the playoffs. I mean, I think Burrow throws 2 touchdowns and they kick 2 field goals and he's got it. I also do like him as a potential MVP, very long shot, but the Bengals tweet it after every game that he makes a field goal. That's why you draft a kicker.
Yep, that's right. Now, do you guys think McPherson goes over 7.5?
I tend to like the over as well. I mean, he's Money Mac. He hasn't missed this entire playoffs. He's incredible. He's got the confidence of a 15-year-old vet. So I would not bet against. I would definitely not fade the over on this. I think if I was to take a bet on this, it would definitely be the over 7.5.
Yeah. What do you think, Julian?
Yeah. I heard. You called him Money Mac. I call him Evan McPherson None.
I like that.
I think I love this kid. Like Spencer said, I think he's an incredibly talented kicker. But at the end of the day, I don't think field goals are winning this game. I think touchdowns are winning this game. So, I mean, I like McPherson for 1, maybe 2 field goals, but maybe 1. I got to go with the under. I don't think field goals are winning this game.
All right. So for the under, it's going to be 1 field goal, and then he would need 5 touchdowns then to do that. So you're relying on field goals here. I think it's a good bet. You just don't want to bet against McPherson for sure, based on what he's done. I don't think he'll miss ever again. So let's go to so we're going to do final score now. Give me your final score. Just go around quickly, and then we're going to have some fun. We're going to do a couple of those like offshore prop bets, and we'll wrap it up here. So we'll start with you, Julian. Since you think it's going to be like a touchdown shootout, what are you going with?
31-28 Bengals.
Okay, there you go. 31-28. Danny, what do you think?
I'll go 24-14 Rams in a slower game.
Okay. Spencer?
I'm going to go 27-24 Bengals.
I like that.
Walk-off field goal by McPherson.
I'm on the 27-24, 24-21, 21-17. I'm in that range. I'm going to say 24-21 Bengals, McPherson walk-off field goal in OT. That's what I'm going to go with. Pretty much similar to what happened to Arrowhead. All right, so we're having a little fun now. National Anthem, coin toss, and then Gatorade. So National Anthem total is set at 95 seconds. I'll give you I wrote an article on this, so it's only gone under 1 time. Kelly Clarkson had to go under that in 2012, 2013. But Mickey Guyton, who's singing the National Anthem this year, went way under. I'm sure you guys know this, like 86 seconds or something at the National Memorial Day concert. So National Anthem, what are you going to go, over or under, knowing this is the Super Bowl and she's probably going to hold that last note?
I'll always send the over.
There you go.
Always. National Anthem over, always. No questions asked.
What do you get, Danny? What do you think?
Just to be a devil's advocate, I think I'll take the under. I mean, if he performed in 86 seconds before, I mean, I guess that's the best source you can really get on that. But, I mean, I would not be surprised at all if he went big for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. What do you think, Julian?
Just like this is the biggest stage for a football player, this is the biggest stage for the singer can be on in the sports world. So I'll take the over.
Oh, you got to take the over, right?
Yeah.
It's a Super Bowl. Like she's gonna hold that note. I love it. I always love this bet every year. If you can start off with a national anthem win and a coin toss win, like it's just going to be a good night. Now coin toss, I'm high on heads. I don't know when I heard this back in the day. Like the head side of the coin is like heavier, so it comes up heads more. I'm on that side of the narrative rather than tails never fails. How about you guys, Danny?
Oh, well, you took the words right out of my mouth. Tails never fails, baby. I can't go against it. There's no real science to it, but got to stick with your guns.
Tails never fails. Okay, Spencer. Tails never fails or heads?
I'm on the tails never fails train. It was brutal watching Josh Allen and Burrow both call tails and have it miss, but gotta stick with it. It'll come up this time.
All right, Julian, what do you
think?
Give
me heads. Tails does fail. It failed the Bills. Give me heads. It
does fail. And you know what? I think like 56% of the money is coming out on tails just because of tails never fails. That's amazing that people are just going with tails never fails.
Who do we have whose head is on the coin this year?
I have no clue. I haven't even seen it, but
is it JFK or something?
I don't know. I heard the head, whoever's on the head side is heavier, so like it comes up more. That's what I hear. And whoever's flipping, I don't even know who's flipping. It's probably Goodell or something like that. But yeah, okay. So finally, Gatorade color. Now I also watched a video on this yesterday or this morning. It was from Bleacher Report betting, and they said the Gatorade has not matched the team color. It's like only matched the team color 3 times in the past 10 years or something. These numbers could be crazy, but it does not usually match the team color. With that being said, Julian, what Gatorade color are you going to go with on the winning team?
This is a tough one, but I got to go with red.
Red, okay.
I'm going with red. It's my favorite Gatorade flavor. I'm going with red.
All right. Spencer, what do you think?
I'm going to go blue. I think as a former athlete, blue's the best flavor to have on the field. So, hopefully the boys agree with me.
Yeah. What do you think?
So weird enough, last year I actually hit on plus 750 blue Gatorade last year. I was going crazy when it hit, especially after I lost the Chiefs bet. So it helped me out. But I'll go with orange this time around. I don't think it should matter too much if Bengals. And I do think the Rams will win it. So I won't match the color, but I think orange is the safest bet.
Yeah, I think orange is favored. But again, like being a former athlete, I would say my favorite is like blue or red. So I got to go blue. I think that's the best bet in my opinion. Also, Glacier, like purple, whatever, Glacier purple, like that's pretty low down. That's Bleacher Report's pick. It's going to be purple this year because it's the 10-year anniversary of the Giants winning and Coughlin getting purple poured on him. So that was good, guys. That was fun. You know what? We'll enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens. We'll come back next week. We'll look at our picks and see how we did. But hope you guys had a blast. That was Sports 2.0 show. Dan, Spencer, Julian, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys very soon.
No problem.